Here we go, it's all about you, it's all about me, it's all about what we do. Making art, you and me, trying to find something to believe. Because I'm running wild, I'm running free, still got a lot of shit left to see.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tanya here, and here is me delivering some legal or law school content for you guys. I said that I would try to make some more kind of like law school content just to have a bit more diversity on my channel, as well as to have something that's a bit less time consuming, as sometimes the movie and critical analysis content I make, so that I can be able to put more content on my channel for you guys. So what I'm going to be telling you guys about today and what we're going to discuss are programs, schemes, and resources for specifically Black students who are interested in the bar. So the reason why I'm specifying my audience today with being Black students is the fact that I am a Black woman and I do know the struggles of trying to achieve the bar. For Black students who are pursuing the bar, or in other words, who are aspiring to be barristers, it is quite a difficult path for us. This is because there is a significant lack of diversity in the bar right now. Most practicing barristers are not racially Black. Most barristers are in fact white here in England and Wales, or in the UK. But specifically, a lot of the statistics I'm going to be talking about are specific to England and Wales. So on face value, this does not sound like an alarming thing, because in the jurisdiction of England and Wales, the majority of the population does identify racially as white. However, when you go down to further statistics, we start to see a certain pattern that shows that there are discriminatory practices that tend to exclude Black people from becoming barristers or from entering the bar or the legal profession in general. For instance, despite numerous statistics being displayed by the Bar Standards Board that more and more Black students are taking up the bar course and are receiving first-class grades in university, we are still not able to secure opportunities like privileges, which are a necessary part of becoming a barrister. After you finish with your bar course, you have to secure a privilege to be able to fully qualify as a barrister in England and Wales. And like I said before, despite huge increases or significant increases in Black people or Black students taking up the bar course, or students achieving first-class grades in their law LLB, we are still less likely to be able to gain pupillage or become barristers than our white counterparts. And other research, statistics, and sources have shown that the students who tend to become barristers, who tend to secure pupillage, who tend to secure mini pupillage, they are traditionally coming from a certain educational background. So they've received private schooling, as well as predominantly have come from Oxbridge. I think I read a Bar Standards Board statistics that said about 60 to 63%, approximately that kind of figure of Oxbridge students are able to obtain pupillage versus students from any other educational background or coming from any other university. Oxbridge students tend to dominate receiving opportunities and legs up in their career. Now you can say this because, of course, Oxford and Cambridge students would deserve these places because they are going to Oxford and Cambridge. However, there's also other statistics that show that people who get into these kind of universities like Harvard and Oxford and Cambridge tend to get into those universities which do have high standards, mostly because of their private school background, which, if you are coming from an ethnic minority group or racial group, you tend to not have received in your lifetime, because we are also more disproportionately likely to be in impoverished neighborhoods or impoverished backgrounds, meaning we do not have as much money in general as our white counterparts. Therefore, we won't have access to the same resources they have, such as private schooling, which allows them to enter certain arenas like Oxford and Cambridge, and then be chosen again and again and again for other opportunities in the future. So there are just a lot of things that disproportionately affects us in the race to becoming a barrister, and that's why today I want to share with you guys some resources and some schemes and any other advice that I could possibly give to you guys that will help you in your career journey on pursuing the bar and being a law student. So let's read it. So the first resource I want to talk to you guys about is a charity called Bridging the Bar. Now, Bridging the Bar has specifically been founded in order to aid Black students in pursuing the bar, so becoming a barrister. And I feel like Bridging the Bar is one of those charities that is really doing a lot for Black students right now. I think it's one of the most important charities on this list, or resource. I think if you are a Black student who's considering becoming a barrister, you should really look at this charity. They're doing a lot of work right now. They're really active, and I'm going to tell you how they're active in certain ways and how this can help you on your journey to pursuing the bar. So, like I said, Bridging the Bar is a charitable organization. However, the way it helps Black students is through numerous different schemes, resources, and activities. One of the first ways in which Bridging the Bar helps Black students is through their newsletter. So if you go on bridgingthebar.com or .co.uk, I'm not quite sure what the website domain is, but if you go and search Bridging the Bar, they have this kind of newsletter that you can sign up for. So you are updated with numerous things that comes their way that they learn about, whether it's inside their own organization or outside. So they'll make you aware of like all kind of different opportunities that they think will be relevant to Black students who want to become barristers, or even just other kind of opportunities within that kind of realm. For example, recently I got an email from Bridging the Bar talking about an opportunity in shadowing, I think, judicial professionals as a person who wants to get into that career field, but who's already a legal professional. So they're thinking of this as another career opportunity. So that's just a quick example of something recent I got an email about for Bridging the Bar. So everything is not particularly geared towards just kind of like one audience of Black students who are thinking about becoming barristers. There are other different kinds of opportunities that they're also making you aware of. So they will send like various emails about like any opportunity that may be coming up that they have seen or heard about, and then they pass it along. They've also done other unique things like sponsor spaces and certain things that may be helpful, like a training course or other things of that nature. So like sponsoring a workshop and saying, you know, like, hey, we've sponsored 2 spaces. If you sign up or if you show interest right now, then we'll sign you up for this, and that will be something that be able to benefit you in the long run. Let's say if it's an advocacy workshop or something like that, it's something you can put on your CV as experience. They've done things like that. The Bridging the Bar, other than their newsletter that's making you aware of other schemes, organizations, and opportunities, they also have their own scheme for mini pupillage. So they have Bridging the Bar mini pupillage scheme. Now, the Bridging the Bar mini pupillage scheme is a way to specifically give mini pupillage opportunities to Black students by having one application form set for a numerous amount of different chambers with a general amount of spaces open. So this year, the mini pupillage scheme recently opened and closed, and I think they had about 54 open spaces across a numerous set of different chambers for mini pupillage, but you only needed to send in one single application, which was then reviewed by a team by Bridging the Bar, and then the team, after it creates a short list, sends that list off to their chambers for them to pick, I guess, who is placed where. So that is one significant opportunity. Applying for mini pupillage is a very hefty task. Sometimes it can feel very tedious, going through all the application forms, noting all the deadlines, sending them in, and then sometimes a lot of the times when you're rejected, because a lot of chambers receive so many applications, you're not giving much feedback at all. So it can be a very arduous process that doesn't feel very fulfilling when you don't get any opportunities out of it. So Bridging the Bar has simplified this process for many Black students, opening up the ease for us, and I think it's an opportunity and scheme that you really should take advantage of. And I've applied through that scheme. I haven't gotten a mini pupillage for it, but I do think it's a good scheme and it's something to be aware of. Another organization or program or scheme that I want to talk about is called 10,000 Black Interns. Now, 10,000 Black Interns is a charitable organization as well as an application or internship scheme or program which takes in applications from, again, Black students in order to place them in certain industries for a 6-week internship during the summer. I have recently accepted an offer with a sector, so the bar. The bar had a steering group, meaning that several different chambers and the Bar Council in England Wales had come together to create a group in which to have internship spaces offered through 10,000 Black interns. And I have accepted a space with that group, and I'm going to be later placed with a chamber or the Bar Council for the summer as an internship. So I don't think I need to explain why this is such a very big deal for anyone who wants to pursue a career at the bar. Like I just said previously, getting many people is very, very competitive, and most chambers don't particularly offer you any kind of like summer internship process, especially not for as long as 6 weeks. It's very hard to get placements or work experience with chambers in order to develop your CV for becoming a barrister, or even to just understand what it is to work as a barrister, work in the chambers, and get to know the career path that you're gonna go down on. So it's a very big opportunity for a lot of people, and thank you 10,000 Black interns for giving me my opportunity, and that's why I want to spread the word to you about this organization. Now, another thing about the process is that I don't only get to pick one sector that I may want an interview or to apply with. I get to pick 3 sectors. So one of the first sectors I picked was, of course, the bar, and then the second sector I picked was the legal sector, and then I got an offer to like further give in details to a firm with Smith, but of course I've already accepted my offer from the bar, so I didn't go further down the kind of like application or interview process with Smith. And then the third sector I picked was I think marketing. So you have the chance to interview or apply for 3 different sectors, to be placed within 3 different sectors. So you are basically getting 3 chances to be interned somewhere. So even if you can't get an internship with the bar specifically, you could have a chance to get an internship within the legal sector in some other kind of capacity, or just receive an internship in a whole different other sector, which can still give you transferable skills later on for when you're applying for other things related to the bar and when you need to become a barrister. Don't forget that when you're trying to go down a certain route, that you can still take up on opportunities in different sectors, as long as it can offer you like some transferable skills. And even if it doesn't offer you transferable skills, maybe give it a go. It could be a new opportunity that enlightens your mind to new things that you may actually want to do, maybe on the side of the bar or instead of the bar. So that's another good organization. Another resource of opportunities that Black students should be aware of are resources that can be found on different chambers' websites. So if you're interested in particular chambers, do give their website a look, or just generally take a look at the different chambers in the practice areas which you're interested in. So if you're interested in family law, look at a few chambers. If you're interested in commercial law, look at a few chambers. Because sometimes those chambers, either individually or in collaboration with other chambers, tend to have schemes such as mentoring schemes, or even other like mini pupillage schemes, which are specifically designed for BAME students, Black students, or students from other underrepresented backgrounds, such as students who come from a more impoverished background, students who did not go to Oxbridge, like the other 65% of barristers from these kind of backgrounds, which we do not see currently well represented within the bar. So you should look at a different number of chambers, because this could be a good way to see and look for opportunities for you to apply for. Some examples of chambers with mentoring schemes are one Essex Courts. They have a woman at the bar mentoring scheme. Again, some of them are not specifically for Black students, but if you are a Black woman, you can still, of course, apply for the Women at the Bar mentoring scheme. And it's just something I want to bring to your attention specifically. Sometimes, obviously, this is not specifically for Black students, but it can still serve you, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Or there could be intersection of the two you have certain schemes that are designated for people from, like I said, underrepresented backgrounds, like students who come from a more impoverished background, and that tends to intersect with a lot of Black students here in England and Wales, just due to the political and societal framework of the country, issues like colonialism and slavery and immigration in the past that has created this inequality gap between Black people and white people. So when I bring up certain resources that are not specifically for Black people, I'm still giving it to you so that it can serve you. King's Chambers also has a mentoring scheme for students from an underrepresented background. You can also find these kind of schemes offered from some of the inns. So the Inn of Courts, which is one of the requirements that you have to join an inn before you take on the bar course. Any barrister is a member of an inn. So some of the inns also have schemes like this. Inner Temple has the Pegasus Access and Support Scheme. So you can check out that scheme as well. It's applicable to people of a certain background. So people who are first in their family to attend higher education, people who have received free school meals at some point, people whose parents were in receipt of income support. So people of these certain kind of background indicators would be applicable for the Pegasus Access Scheme. So you can check it out if you are one of those people. You also have Lincoln's Inn, who has a mini pupillage grant scheme. So if you have already secured a mini pupillage, but you don't have the funding it takes to complete it. So for example, I'm here in Sheffield. If me here in Sheffield, I apply for mini pupillage in London, I actually get the mini pupillage, but I didn't think about funding and how do I pay for the train ride to London? How do I pay for the hotel? Some mini pupillages go from 1 day to 5. If it's 5 days, how do I pay for 5 days worth of hotel as a student? Especially if I'm a Black student who may come from a background, where I do not have a lot of income support, I don't have a lot of funding, I don't have a lot of cash or financing to put me in a position to complete this mini pupillage. Lincoln's Inn has a mini pupillage grant scheme, so you could also look at that if that's something that you may be interested in or need, or a resource that may come in handy in order to help support you on your goal to becoming a barrister. So I talked about a handful of programs and schemes and resources with you guys today. I'm gonna put all of those things that I talked about in my description. Of course, there are so many other resources out there that you can look for. Just some general tips I think I'll impart you guys with on how you can find opportunities and schemes and other resources is by one, I think this is a very important tip. Please do read the letters or the emails that you do get from your university. Often I find that many students tend not to read their emails, or they don't tend not to read their emails right away from like employment services or the School of Law. A lot of the times those emails contain different opportunities, whether it be work experience, whether it be an opportunity to have a mentor or sign up for a mentor, whether it be an opportunity to sit in with a chat with other barristers or QCs or whoever it may be. I think a lot of students tend to miss opportunities like that or not even know that they exist because they do not read their emails from their law school or the university, making them aware of the opportunities and resources that they're holding for you and procuring for you, creating for you, or making you aware of. So please do read those emails. I like to read my emails almost right away, honestly. And I think making myself aware in advance of these opportunities by reading my emails makes me prepared to actually apply. Because sometimes when you read things and you are made aware of things at the very last minute, you lose all motivation to apply when you look at a form and it's 6 pages long and then you're just like, well, I don't really have the time for this. And you don't give yourself the time to put your best foot forward on the application when you only have 4 hours to do it, especially in law school where things are very competitive. People are very talented. So you need to give yourself the time to answer things correctly. If you have been that kind of person where you apply for things last minute and you still get it, kudos to you, queen and king. That has not been me. So yeah, please do sign up for experiences, like free experiences as well, that may be easy to get into, like mooting or other such kind of like legal competitions with your law society, with your law school, if they're holding things like that, you definitely should join them and try to do as many as you can to gain legal experiences. A lot of chambers are looking for mooting experience and bail experience and negotiations, all of these things on your CV in order to see that you are serious about the bar. So if you have the opportunity to do so, do it. And that's another reason why you should also follow those societies in the law school and whatever other things like that that set up those competitions on Instagram or wherever you need to follow them on, so that you're notified about opportunities when they come up. Another good way to be aware of different opportunities is by reading so many legal blogs that we have available to us these days. Places like the Law Portal, sign up to Bright Network so you can get newsletters about different opportunities. Sign up or read blogs from Legal Cheek, follow them on Instagram. This is a very easy way to make yourself aware of things that may come up, as well as things like commercial news that may help you down the line in an interview or application. I would also follow a few barristers. If there's a notable barrister that you've been following in terms of reading up on some of their activities that you know, or even if you just like search up chambers and you see a barrister that is in one of the practice areas you're interested in, search them up on Twitter or Instagram. Sometimes when you're following these barristers and they themselves individually make you aware, they may individually make you aware of different opportunities, or they may just choose to help out a few students. Like one barrister I like to follow is the Essex Barrister, and I think at one point on her Instagram she's saying like she is willing to take in a few mentees or something like that on her Instagram, and she took a few people in. She went through like who knows how many applications in order to help other women in their career becoming a barrister. So do follow barristers and other influential people in the legal profession in order to be more commercially aware of opportunities that they may personally know of, or even be able to receive some help from them on an individual basis. And that is all the advice I have for you guys today. Please let me know if you liked this video or if you liked my advice, and if you want to see any advice from me about being in law school in the future. I will make some more diverse content in the future that is usable for everybody, not just Black students. Of course, though, when I do talk about Black students specifically, it's because we go through certain challenges, and I am a Black woman, so I want to help to serve people like me who are trying to break through and through the legal profession, especially in becoming a barrister, because it is quite hard. So thank you, and I'll try to do my best in the future to upload content. Bye.
Here we go, it's all about you, it's all about me, it's all about what we do. Making art, you and me, trying to find something to believe, because I'm running wild, I ain't running free. Still got a lot of shit left to see.